welcome to watching this video. In this video, I want to teach you how you can edit your video in Adobe Premiere. Let's go to watching this tutorial. Okay, first when you open Adobe Premiere, you can see this welcome page. Here is a recent project, and with this button you can create a new project, and with this button you can open a project. Okay, for example, first select a new project. When you click that, here it appears new project window. Here you can type a name, and here in location you can choose folder for save your project. Okay, and here is general tab. In video rendering and playback, select first because we want to use GPU for fast rendering, and next in video you can choose format for display timeline. I think timecode is good usually, and in audio you can select audio format, audio sample, and here in capture you can select DV or HDV format for your project. For example, here we want to use HDV. Okay, select HDV, and in stretch disk you should select a folder for temp, for capture video, for audio, for video previews, and other thing you should select browse, and after that select a folder for temp. If you could use SSD hard for this scratch file, it will be great. Okay, very good. For example, here I want type test 2, and now press OK. When you press OK, create test 2 in this default address. Very good. When you create a project, you can see this panel. For a start, first you should create a sequence. For create sequence, go to file and in new select sequence, or you can use shortcut key Ctrl+N. Very good. Here you should select a format that you want, for example HD, or for example red camera, and other format. For example, here in ARRI, if you select second option, here you can see all information. When you change that, as you can see here, you can see all information. For example, I want to use this preset, and here you can type a name. For example, here is sequence 1, and if you want you can go to setting and change all things. For example, frame size in horizontal and vertical, or here in audio you can change audio sample rate. Okay, very good. Now press OK. When you press OK, now as you can see, it create this sequence and you can see this timeline. Okay, now for import your video in Adobe Premiere, just right click here in project panel, and after that click import. Very good. Now select your video or picture, and you can select all acceptable file in Adobe Premiere. Okay, for example this and this, and for example this 3 video, and now for example a picture, and now press open. Very good. As you can see, it import this. Okay, now when you move your cursor in video, you can see preview of this video, or for example this video. For example, this. Okay, now you should just drag and drop your video to this timeline. Okay, if you see this message, if you select keep exiting, settings is better. Okay, for example, select that, and now when you change this indicator, you can see this video is showing here, or when you play, as you can see, it's showing. Very good. If you want change size, and for example here this video is HD, and if you want change it to full HD, and if you want change size, you should first select your video and now go to effect controls. When you select that, here you can see video effects, and when you select motion and when you select this rectangle, here you can see you can change size. Click and change size. For example, I want fit this to sequence. For example, here is good. Or you can change this scale. You should select and drag and drop right and left, and you can see change size of your video and change scale. And with position, you can change position in X and Y. Press Ctrl Z, okay. And with rotation, as you can see, you can rotate your video. And with anchor point, you can just change this. And if you want to see anchor point, first select this. Now here you can see this anchor point and you can change it. For example, if you change this anchor point here, and now when you change rotation, as you can see it, here is anchor, and when you change that anchor point here, very good. And with opacity, you can change opacity like this from 0 to 100. Okay, for example, I want to delete this area from 0 to if you click this and change this, you can zoom in or zoom out your timeline. For example here, okay, I want to delete 0 to, for example, 17 seconds. Okay, you have many ways for delete this area. Okay, first you can change your cursor to first of this video, and when it change to this red arrow, you can select and drag it right, and it's done. As you can see, delete first of this. Press Ctrl Z. Okay, or you can select this eraser tool, and now here you can cut this video, and now select this selection tool and select this and press delete. As you can see, delete this first, or you can double click in your video, for example this, and here you can see your original video, and here with these two options, mark in and mark out, you can delete. If you select mark in, it will delete before this indicator. Select mark in, as you can see, delete this, and here you can see it delete that. Press Ctrl Z, and if you select mark out, delete next of this indicator. As you can see, delete. Very good. Press Ctrl Z and select this, because we want delete before. And now change indicator, for example, to here, to here. Now we want delete next of this video. Now you can change cursor to end of this video, and when it change to red arrow, drag and drop to here. Now we want to use just this part of video. Okay, now press and drag to here from first, or for example you can change it to here, and we can add a picture, for example this picture, to here, and select this and drag this video to here. Now for example here this picture is bigger than this sequence. Select this picture and after that go to effect control and now change this scale, for example change it to here, and if you want you can change size for this picture, for example from 0 to 2 seconds is good. Now it will play this, and now add next video, for example this, double click this video and you can see that here change indicator, for example I need from here. Now press marking, change indicator and here. Now select mark out, very good. Now drag and drop to here. Now you should select that, and after that go to effect, control, and again increase scale, very good, and add next video, for example here. For example I need from here. You can select this eraser tool, split here and press selection tool, select this and delete. For example I need from here to here. Now select that and again press split, cut this and delete next, very good. Now drag it here, select that and go to effect controls for this video, change scale. Okay, very good. Now when you play that, you can see okay, that's good. Now I want add text. For add a text, you can go to file menu and in new select title. Okay, and here you can change the name or change width and height, and now for example press OK. When you press OK here, you can see open a new window, text new window. If you want add horizontal text, you should select this, and if you want add vertical text, you should select this vertical tool. Okay, for example you want add horizontal, select that, and now here select, very good. Now type your text, for example VFXRZ, that's good. Now you can highlight that and change opacity, for example, as you can see you can change that, or here you can change font or change font size, for example this size, and color and other thing. For example you can add texture, sheen, and you can add stroke, inner stroke, outer stroke. For example if you for outer stroke I want add it, just click add, and here you can change this for shadow, for example it's like shadow, very good. Or you can here add select a preset, for example this preset. You can use this, just click and it's done. And with this option you can create rectangle or you can create line, for example select and drag. It's done. Very good. Now close this window, and here your title you can drag and drop and edit your video, for example change it here and change that here. And now when you select the selection tool and select this, and here select this rectangle, you can change it to here. Or if you want you can double click this, and when open this here you can change position to here and select selection and change position of this to here and change it to here. It's better. Very good. Is default of this track for video is 3. As you can see, V1, V2 and V3. If you want add more track, just right click here and select add track. And here you can add track for video and add track for audio. For example, one for video and one for audio. Here as you can see we have 4 audio. And now when you press OK, as you can see now we have another audio with another video track. Okay, now for example if I add another video, right click in project panel, right click and select import, for example this video, drag and drop here, example from here in this track, double click that and for example from here, delete this, delete before, and for example move this to here and select mark out. Okay, now as you can see we have just this part of video, and next again go to effect control and in scale change this scale, for example here. That's good. Now for example I want animate opacity or for example animate scale. For create animation in Adobe Premiere is exactly like Adobe After Effects. For do that, just you should first select this toggle animation. Here as you can see it create a keyframe. Now you should drag this indicator, for example to here. And now when you change this and increase that, as you can see it's automatic create another keyframe. Now when you change this indicator, as you can see, change this scale and animate that. For example, if you click this toggle animation for opacity, now change this indicator to here. And now change it to 0. Now change this indicator to here and change opacity to 100. Now when you play that, as you can see, opacity and scale is animate. And for example you can animate rotation too, and for example you can create animation for rotation. If you click this toggle animation from here and change indicator to here, and change a little, for example this rotation. As you can see, 3 item, scale, rotation and opacity is animate. And for example from here I want again hiding this video. Just you should select this item for add keyframe, and now change indicator to here and decrease this number and change it to 0. Now when you play that, you can see like this. Very good. Now I want to teach you how you can add effect in your video. For do that, just you should select your video. After that, here select effects menu. Okay, and now when you open video effects, here you can see many folder of effects. For example here these are plugins, but here for example blur and sharpen, channel, color correction, these are default effect in Adobe Premiere. For example if you want change color, you should go to color correction, and now for example in color balance should drag and drop to your video. Very good. Now here you can see this color balance, and now in shadow red balance, when you for example change this, as you can see, you can change color for this video. Or for example you can use another effect. For example if you open stylize, if you add for example this brush stroke and change it to fit, as you can see your video is like brushes. And here in brush stroke you can change for example angle or brush size, or you can animate that. If you click toggle animation, you can animate that, and you can change other things. I will create many videos for Adobe Premiere, and I will teach you many tricks and techniques, and you will learn how you can create professional video editing in Adobe Premiere. Okay. For example, I want to delete this and change it to here. Very good. Now I want to teach you how you can add transition. For transition, in effect, here in video transition you should open that, and here we have many folders for transition. For example in dissolve, if you open that in cross dissolve, if you should drag and drop and add between two video, or you can add just first of video. But if you drag this, as you can see, it will affect between of this video. Very good. Now when you play that, as you can see, it creates this dissolve. And now when you select that, you can see details here, and delete that. For example in 3D option, drag and drop next transition, and when you play that, it's a transition. You can use all these transition in your video. For example if you want add audio, just in project right click and select import, and now for example you can select for example this audio and press open, and now you can add this audio here. Delete first of this. Very good. Now when you play that, it will be like this. Okay, that's great. Now delete end of this. Okay, now for rendering you should go to file, and after that go to export and select media, or you can use shortcut key Ctrl M. Okay, now here in format you should select your format that you want, for example MP3 or MPEG to Blu-ray and other format. For example here I want to use this format, and here you can change size and audio and other things. These are presets, and if you select match source high bitrate, your final render it will match with your sequence. And here if you select that, you can select folder for render this video, and here you can choose a name and press save. And now when you press export your video, and you should waiting for rendering. That's good. Okay, now when you go to video, you can see this video with MP4. Now when you play that, as you can see, create that. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and share my video. Good luck and bye.